You have passed through the fiercest trial you have ever faced. And today, I want you to recognize that you are no longer the person who trembled when first entering that fire. You were pushed toward limits that seemed impossible to cross and confronted circumstances capable of making even a resilient heart surrender. Yet you continued, moving forward. You were not strong every day, nor did you always see hope. There were nights when you possessed only enough strength to remind yourself not to give up, and mornings when you had to gather each fragment of courage merely to rise and take one very small step. Yet, those small steps that no one saw created your victory. You did not overcome because you never felt pain, but because pain could not persuade you to abandon the light completely. You did not remain standing because you never felt afraid, but because, even within fear, you chose what was right rather than allowing darkness to decide who you would become. I know that trial was never an ordinary obstacle that could simply be left behind. It reached into your deepest places, where you kept your faith, dreams, and wounds that had never been spoken aloud. Perhaps you lost something you believed would remain forever. Watched a relationship change until you no longer recognized someone who had once been close, or saw what you worked so hard to build collapse before your eyes. Perhaps you faced betrayal that damaged your trust, prolonged delay that made you question your direction, or loneliness no one around you could understand. These things pushed you to the edge, but they were never permitted to write the ending of your story. When every outward layer of protection was removed, you began to see that true strength was not found in controlling every circumstance, but in preserving your character when circumstances moved beyond your control. Throughout that time, I saw every battle taking place in spaces no one else could enter. I saw you struggling not to use pain as a reason to wound the innocent. I saw you choosing between revenge and peace, between returning to what was familiar and continuing into what remained unknown. There were times when you stumbled, reacted from exhaustion, or made choices you later wished you could change. Yet one moment of losing direction cannot erase the entire journey. What matters is that you learned how to pause, acknowledge, correct, and continue. I do not require perfection before calling you someone who overcame. Your victory is found in refusing to build a permanent home inside failure, refusing to let one weak moment become your identity, and continually seeking the road back to truth whenever you wander. What once made you believe you were being punished was actually revealing the places that required healing. Pressure exposed how much you still depended upon approval. Separation showed how deeply fear of abandonment had directed your choices. Silence forced you to learn how to stand without receiving confirmation from outside. You do not need to call every painful event good, because some things that happened were genuinely unjust and should not be beautified. Yet, you can choose not to allow what was wrong to steal the entire meaning of your journey. From the ruins, I helped you recover what no one can take away: discernment, courage, clarity, and respect for yourself. What happened may have changed your life, but the way you rose is changing your future. Through every difficult day, what was false gradually left you. You are no longer easily carried away by great promises without action. You no longer call control concern, nor confuse endless endurance with love. You learned that forgiveness does not require reopening every door. Gentleness does not require weakness, and boundaries do not make you selfish. This maturity did not appear in a single morning. It was formed Each time you had to choose yourself after years of sacrificing only to keep others satisfied. Now you can love without losing direction. Help without accepting responsibilities that do not belong to you. And move forward without needing everyone's agreement. This kind of strength is quiet, but steady enough to protect the new season opening before you. I want you to understand that the test has completed its purpose. You do not need to continue living as though another disaster is always waiting behind the next door. You became so accustomed to defending yourself that peace itself can sometimes make you uneasy, as though gentle days are merely a pause before another storm. But, my beloved child, you were not refined so that you would remain forever in battle. There comes a time to lay down the armor. Allow your shoulders to rest, and learn how to live without continually expecting something terrible. Vigilance once helped you survive, but if you carry it into every new relationship, you may unknowingly push sincere people away. Keep the wisdom but release extreme suspicion. Preserve boundaries without building walls too high. And remember the lesson without forcing the future to pay for the past. The new season waiting for you will not bring only outward change. It invites you to live according to an entirely different rhythm. You no longer need to prove your value by working until exhaustion. Chase people who notice you only when they need something, or continue fighting for a position that was never truly suitable. The right opportunities will not require you to become smaller. Healthy relationships will not use silence to punish you. Suitable doors will not demand that you exchange dignity in order to enter. Even so, you still need discernment. Do not assume that everything appearing after hardship is automatically a reward. Observe consistency, peace, and the fruit each choice produces. What is truly good will help you grow without destroying you. The destiny you are entering does not necessarily involve a dazzling position before a crowd. Deep purpose is sometimes revealed through ending a painful pattern in your family, creating a home where respect replaces fear, or using experience to lift someone who believes they can no longer rise. What you endured gave you understanding that books could never teach. You recognize weariness behind another person's smile. Understand why some people can move only very slowly. And know that one kind word at the right moment can save a day that seemed hopeless. Do not underestimate this gift. I did not merely lead you out of hardship so that your private life could improve. I am making your story into a bridge that helps others recognize that darkness is not where they must remain forever. Yet you must not turn mission into another burden. You are not responsible for rescuing everyone, nor do you need to empty yourself to prove that your life carries meaning. What you give becomes healthy only when it flows from a place where you are cared for, rested, and respected. Learn to receive help. Admit when you are tired, and do not feel ashamed of needing time to recover. A mature person is not someone who always says they are fine, but someone honest about limitations before reaching exhaustion. I do not want you to become a light for others while neglecting your own lamp. Protect your health, focus, and necessary quietness, because they are also part of the responsibility entrusted to you. My beloved child, when you look back, you will recognize that the fire could not take away what was most precious within you. It burned away many illusions, but left truth. It dissolved certain connections, but helped you recognize who could truly remain beside you. It broke an old way of living, but opened a stronger foundation. You are no longer someone who must beg to be seen because you learned to recognize your own value. You are no longer someone whose direction is destroyed by one rejection. Because you understand that a closed door cannot cancel the purpose of an entire life. What tried to break you ultimately taught you how to bend without collapsing. Remain soft without being easily crushed. And continue loving without allowing love to become an excuse for others to harm you. Now move forward with the humility of someone who knows they have been refined. But do not carry the pride of someone who believes they are greater than those still struggling. You overcame not so that you could judge those who fall, but so that you would know how to extend a hand. Use wisdom to guide, peace to calm chaotic places, and your voice to build rather than wound. The test has ended, but the qualities formed through it will remain with you. Allow the past to stay behind without denying its lessons. Receive the present without constant defensiveness. And look toward the future without allowing fear to guide you. I am with you as the new door opens. And what comes next will help you understand that every time you chose to rise was quietly leading you toward a life far deeper, richer, and more peaceful than you once dared to hope. My beloved child, when dark clouds begin gathering on the horizon, do not see only confusion, because hidden within the pressure is an invitation to rise in the steadiness refined through many seasons of testing. This Friday may bring movements that cause many people to feel uneasy, but I do not want you to enter it expecting something terrible. The most dangerous storm is not what appears outside, but the whisper trying to make you doubt yourself, diminish your dreams, and forget every time you were sustained. Fear will try to persuade you that present pressure is greater than your ability to endure, and that one closed door means the entire future has closed. But you are no longer someone who easily surrenders to those thoughts. You were shaped through days when no escape seemed possible, and those roads created within you a calm strength circumstances cannot easily remove. I do not call you into battle to prove that you stand above others. The true battle takes place in the way you respond when everything around you becomes uncertain. Will you panic or preserve clarity? Will you allow another person's words to determine your value or remember what you already overcame? Will you chase every hasty solution or pause long enough to distinguish what is trustworthy? This is where courage is revealed, not through a loud cry, but through small and steady decisions. When bills accumulate, you refuse to let fear lead you into promises without foundation. When a relationship becomes tense, you do not answer hurt with hurt. When your body becomes tired, you stop forcing yourself merely to prove strength. I am teaching you that true strength also includes knowing when to pause. Seek support and choose what is healthy instead of what provides only a temporary feeling of control. This Friday is not a fateful day where missing one moment causes every blessing to disappear. I do not imprison your future inside a date on a calendar. Yet, any day can become a turning point when you decide not to continue living according to former patterns. Perhaps that day will bring a conversation you delayed, a decision that must be made, or an opportunity requiring you to leave what is familiar. When it comes, be fully present. Do not allow memories of former failure to make you close the door before opportunity has the chance to reveal itself. Yet neither should you rush merely because you fear missing out. Let discernment guide you. What is right will not require you to betray dignity, hide truth, or act in panic. It may challenge you, but deep within you will recognize that you are being expanded, rather than diminished. You have faced giants in your life. Even though they did not carry forms other people could see. One giant was lack, keeping you awake because you did not know how tomorrow would be managed. Another was rejection, continually reminding you of every time you were not chosen. Another was insecurity, causing you to stand before a good opportunity while still believing you lacked ability. Many times, you thought they were too great. But look again, you are still here. Not because every battle was easy, but because every time you fell, you found another reason to rise. Your presence today is evidence that what tried to make you disappear did not succeed. I do not promise that every financial hardship, fractured relationship, or anxious thought will disappear together in one day. I want to give you hope deeper than a promise of immediate change. I am helping you build stability capable of lasting. Provision may come through a new job, a skill you patiently develop, an adjusted financial plan, or a sincere person appearing at the right time. Healing in a relationship may begin through an apology, a clear boundary, or a decision to stop tolerating disrespect. Health may be restored through rest, consistent carry, and enough humility to seek appropriate help. Do not underestimate the ordinary paths I use to lead you out of stagnation. A miracle is not always something that breaks every natural law. Sometimes it is the discernment to do the right thing at the right time. When the world around you shakes, remember that steadiness does not mean feeling nothing. You can feel anxious and still make a wise decision. You can feel sorrow and still preserve hope. You can feel tired and choose rest, rather than concluding that you failed. I do not require you to become someone who never feels afraid. I only refuse to let fear sit in the chair of decision. Acknowledge it. Then allow discernment to speak. When your mind begins imagining the worst possible outcome, return to what is actually present. What do you know for certain? What can you do today? Who is trustworthy enough to approach? These simple questions will help lead you out of the spiral of assumptions and back onto the road beneath your feet. You do not need to prove readiness by pressing a button, registering, or writing a number. I do not measure courage through outward interaction. If you want to say that you are ready, say it through your life. Finish what you postponed. Arrange the expenses that cause anxiety. Apologize where you caused pain. Say no to what continually steals peace. Rest if you are exhausted. And do not treat self-care as weakness. These actions genuinely reveal that you are entering a new stage where faith is no longer only an emotion, but a choice practiced daily. I want you to carry the courage of those who stood before danger and still chose to protect what was right. They did not act because they felt no fear, but because their purpose was greater than fear. The same is true for you. You may not stand before a king or an army, but you still face moments when you must decide whether to remain silent or speak truth, stay or leave, compromise or preserve integrity. These are hidden battlefields where no one applauds. Yet they determine who you are becoming. Every time you choose truth over convenience, courage grows stronger within you. Every time you refuse to let pain become bitterness, you win a battle deeper than human eyes can see. The breakthroughs you desire may be closer than you imagine, but receive them with an attentive mind. A financial opportunity is not a blessing if it is built upon deception. A relationship is not healing if you must lose yourself in order to maintain it. Success is not truly good if it leaves you without time to breathe, love, or live uprightly. I do not merely want to open a door. I want to help you recognize which door deserves to be entered. What belongs to you will not require you to force it, but it will still require preparation, discipline, and faithfulness. Complete your part, and stop tormenting yourself over what you cannot control. This Friday, walk with relaxed shoulders and an attentive heart. If a challenge comes, remember that it has no authority to define your future. If an opportunity comes, do not make yourself smaller because it is greater than what you have known. If nothing unusual happens, do not assume I forgot you. A quiet day can still be where the foundation grows stronger. I do not work only through dramatic events. I am present when you choose calmness over panic, responsibility over escape, and hope even before seeing the whole road. These choices are quietly redirecting your life. My beloved child, the storm on the horizon is not an announcement that you are about to be destroyed. It is an opportunity to recognize that you are no longer someone who trembles before every sound of thunder. You were refined through many seasons and learned how to stand without requiring every circumstance to become perfect. Keep your eyes fixed on what is true, your feet planted in wisdom, and your heart free from bitterness. I am with you, not to make you invincible in the way the world imagines, but to help you know that no matter how great the wind becomes, you can preserve clarity, dignity, and hope. When others see only darkness, you will recognize where light begins to break through. When they see only an ending, you will see a new road taking shape. And when that day passes, you will not rejoice only because you survived. You will understand that under pressure, you rose as someone who knew they were loved, guided, and courageous enough to continue forward. Your life is being formed like a great work of art. And even the lines that once caused pain are being placed into their proper position to create a story more beautiful than what you can presently see. There were colors you wanted erased, roads you wished you had never traveled, and memories that made you believe the picture had been ruined. But my beloved child, God's hand does not abandon the work because one part has become dark. He knows how to use shadow to make light more visible, cracks to create depth, and traces of injury as evidence that you passed through storms without being consumed. The world may see only your mistakes, losses, or years when you appeared motionless. But God sees a journey moving toward fullness. You are not defined by what left you. You are known through the endurance that remained, the kindness still preserved, and the ability to continue walking after repeatedly believing you had no strength. What is waiting ahead includes more than outward changes. It is an expansion in the way you live, feel, and choose. Abundance will not be measured only through what is in your hands, but through no longer living beneath fear of lack. Peace will not mean that every problem disappears, but that problems no longer possess enough authority to take away your steadiness. Joy will not be a temporary emotion dependent upon whether everything goes according to your desire. It will be the deep relief of knowing you do not need to become another person in order to be worthy of love. All these things are being prepared, but you must open your heart to receive them. Some people become so accustomed to pain that when goodness appears, they distrust it, destroy it, or return to what is familiar. I do not want you to continue living that way. You do not need to keep wearing the clothing of battle after being led into a more peaceful place. Heaven is moving not to make you someone who stands above everyone else, but to bring you into your proper place. Suitable opportunities are gradually being arranged. Necessary meetings will occur, and doors that could not open through your strength alone will be revealed at the right time. Yet you are not the main character, in the sense that everyone else exists to serve your story. You are responsible for the road entrusted to you and must remain attentive so that you do not miss what is being prepared. God writes the new chapter, but you must still walk, choose, and mature on every page. Miracles do not perform your responsibility for you. Guidance does not remove the need to learn. An open door carries meaning only when you possess enough courage to enter and enough wisdom to care for what lies beyond it. Do not allow doubt to keep you forever outside the threshold. There were times when you removed yourself from an opportunity before anyone said you lacked ability. You looked at the past, remembered failure, and concluded that the future would be the same. But you are no longer the person who first entered those trials. You learned how to rise. Think more carefully, and stop placing your entire value into outward judgments. These lessons were not given merely so that you would remember them while continuing to live in the same way. They were given so that you could choose differently. When a new opportunity comes, do not view it through the eyes of someone who was rejected. View it through the clarity of someone who knows one. Rejection cannot close every road. When healthy love approaches, do not force it to pay for the mistakes of those who came before. You have the right to remain cautious, but do not turn caution into a wall that no sincere person can cross. Your presence can change the atmosphere around you, not because you carry power to dominate, but because peace and truth always influence a place. When you enter a room without being controlled by the need for attention, others will sense the difference. When you listen without judgment, someone who is hurting will feel safer. When you speak truth gently, the noise of deception loses some of its power. The light you carry does not require a visible halo. It appears in the way you keep your word. Act fairly, protect the vulnerable, and refuse to use your pain as a reason to cause pain. You do not need grand statements to prove that you are special. The way you live among ordinary things will reveal what God cultivated within you. Your breakthrough may become an encouragement to others, not because they need to admire you, but because they need to see that someone who was exhausted can recover. Someone underestimated can rebuild through integrity. And someone who stood amid ruins can preserve a tender heart. Your victory will carry the greatest meaning when it opens a road of hope for someone who believes they cannot continue. Therefore, when you are supported, do not forget the person still lying in the place where you once stood. When you possess a voice, use it to bring clarity. When you have resources, turn them into opportunity for others. When you possess peace, do not use it to withdraw from everyone, but to become a safe place for those searching for a road back. Trust that the road is being prepared, but do not turn trust into a claim that everything you desire already belongs to you without a process. The right work may be approaching, but you still need to develop ability and work responsibly. Healing may be beginning, but you still need to care for your body. Rest and seek appropriate support when necessary. The love you asked for may appear, but you must learn clear communication, boundaries, and how not to place your entire burden of healing upon another person. God may expand what you asked for beyond imagination. But expansion never removes wisdom. Blessing is not found only in receiving more. It is also found in becoming mature enough not to harm yourself or others with what is given. Your life may soon contain more than before, but you do not need new hands to hold it. You need your present hands opened and healed from the habit of gripping everything because you fear loss. A hand that remains tightly closed does not merely preserve what is old. It also prevents what is new from entering. Learn to release resentment, judgment, and the need to prove to those who doubted you that they were wrong. Success does not need to become an instrument of revenge. When you enter something good merely to make someone regret the way they treated you, the past still controls you in another form. I want you to move forward through purpose, not retaliation. Let victory make you more generous rather than harder, deeper rather than more proud. The key to the new season is keeping your heart open without losing discernment. Do not allow the noise of the world to drown the peace deep within, but neither should you treat every emotion as absolute guidance. Observe the fruit of each road. What makes you more truthful, kind, and responsible deserves consideration. What feeds only panic, pride, or dependence must be brought again into the light. You no longer need to chase every invitation or remain in every relationship. Maturity teaches you how to open a door at the right time and close one when necessary. Not through anger, but through clarity. The weight of yesterday does not need to be carried into the new day. You can preserve the lesson without continuing to hold the pain. You can remember what happened without giving memory authority over every choice. Each step you take today becomes a stone within the foundation of your new life. One timely refusal, one healthy habit, 1 hour of learning, one honest decision, or one moment when you choose calmness instead of reaction. These small things may attract no attention, but they create the structure that will support your future. God is present not only within dramatic moments, but also within every quiet choice that leads you closer to your true self.